Hey guys, before we get started, this episode is brought to you by Drunken Gentlemen, the drinking club with killer teas, and their newest drop, The Drunkest Place on Earth. And if you're a big Disney fan like I am, this tea is perfect for park hopping with a buzz. First timers get 20% off with the code WELCOME, but my Taproom listeners, you guys get 25% off. Just use the promo code Taproom Podcast at checkout and stay classy and never spill. And now, on to the episode. All right, and we're back. This is episode 115. Holy cannolis, Batman. I'm just touching that. Imagine that. It's just crazy to me. 115 straight weeks of putting out an episode. Pretty wild. But I love doing it, and I love that you guys enjoy listening, and I love being able to hear these stories from everybody. But yeah, man, 115. This is with Zeke and Lulu. They're home brewers, but also Zeke is a pro brewer, and Lulu, she homebrews, and then she is the taproom manager over at Brewjeria. Like, such great people. I met Zeke at a industry night at Noble a little over a year ago, and just a really awesome, down to earth dude. And I'd met Lulu at one of the, I want to say it was the Pink Boots events, and they're just really great people, and it was cool talking to them. And I don't want to spoil too much because, I really, really enjoyed this episode. But it's cool, man. Like, they grew up in Pico, high school sweethearts. And you'll hear about all that on the episode, but how much they love and support one another in everything that they do. So honestly, guys, I just want to say thank you to you guys for being on. Thank you for all the great beer that we had that day, and even like the West Coast pills that We Love LA that I was on Zeke. I just crushed he gave me a couple 4-packs and I just crushed those. But yeah, looking forward to you guys listening to the interview. Also, I'm sure you guys heard, new ad read this week for my buddy my buddy Josh started his company called Drunken Gentlemen. Just a really, really cool like t-shirts and stuff like that. I wear one I have one and I wear one all the time. But yeah, if you want to support small business, man, you got to get out there, get to drunkengentleman.com. Let's see. What do we got? What did I do this week? This week I did record, and Mania Night 2 really kind of let me down. I just wasn't Night 1 was so much better, and it was like Night 2 just kind of the ending to Mania just fell flat for me. And I guess it fell flat for a lot of people because I guess a lot of people were complaining. What did I do? And then Monday was a recovery day. But I did get to record with John Younger. He has a company out in Arizona, and it's his Instagram is AZ Brew Hopping. And man, what a sweetheart! What a really good dude. We talked for a while. He told me how he started his business, and his bit obviously that'll be episode be down the road, but still it's really cool. Like, he started a brewery tour business out there in Scottsdale, in Arizona, and I'll be out there in a couple weeks, so I'm going to try my best to get over and have a beer with him. So, man, just a really good dude. Tomorrow, I am recording with Masa, the president of the SoCal Cerveceros. I'm looking forward to that one. We've been wanting to do it for a while, so I'm going to be back at Native Son. That will be fun. Let's see. Looking forward to that. Let's see what else we got. Oh, the craft brewers, the California California Brewers Cup. I couldn't think. Man, congratulations that everybody won. I'm not going to be able to go through all of them, but I did want to mention some of the breweries that I got to record with, which I was super stoked for that they won. I know Ogopogo won a couple medals. Also, one of the I thought that was cool, Trademark Brewing won for Codebreaker for American IPAs. Claremont Craft Ales won for an American Wheat Rye, which I haven't recorded with them, but this is just putting that out there in the universe that I could get to record with them one day. One I was super stoked about, Eureka Brewing. Just recorded them with, last month? And they won for Tacos and Beer. Their Mexican lager, so good. I love that beer. Let's see, who else we got? Some of the other ones. This is also putting this out there. Bottle Logic one. Bottle Logic one for American style amber lager for Logarithm. That's a phenomenal beer. So yeah, just putting that out there maybe, if anybody listening. But also, for American style pale ales. My buddy Andy over at Common Space in their brew team took home a gold for Good Signs. Love that. Gotta love that. Arch District won for American style stout and black ales. Love that for Norm. So badass. So congrats, Lucio and David out there. Let's see what else we got here. Ism, they won second place for a Belgian style pale, stable trussels. And let's see what else we got here. There's so many categories. It could be a longer intro. Let's see what else we got. Should have been ready. I'm just scrolling on through. Let's see here. There was other ones I had. I had them written down and then I accidentally deleted the note. So I'm going through it. Oh yeah. Jared over at Long Beach Beer Lab. Congrats, brother. Congrats to the entire brew team, Levy and the brewery. They won for German style Pilsner, classic pills. Super stoked for them. That's so freaking awesome. And they won another. I think they won a third, like a bronze for one of their blonde ale. So that's super, super cool, man. I'm super stoked for everybody that won. There's so many. I think Eureka also won Best Hazy for Just a Phase too. So that's awesome. Ambitious Ales won for professional human beings. So congrats, Garrett. So awesome. Unsung won for the Pickler. We're Urban Spice Beer. So cool. So congrats. And then also, speaking of the episode with Zeke, because he's the brewer over at Brewjeria, they won for their California Common. California. That's so awesome. So congratulations, guys, for all that hard work. I know it takes a lot of hard work, but you guys freaking did it. That's so awesome. There's more out there. Obviously, can't get into all of them or I'd be here talking for a while, but just super stoked for everybody that won. Congratulations again. Keep up the damn hard work and just keep on brewing that beer and I'll just keep on drinking it, All right. One more thing I want to jump into, the NHL playoffs. My Avs are down 2-1. They do play today because I'm recording this on a Saturday. So hopefully when this episode releases, the series is tied 2-2, but we'll see. But yeah, they're down 2-1. A little lightning right now. The Florida's up 2-0 in their series. I still have Florida just looks really good, and I think they're going to be tough to beat. Minnesota beating the Golden Knights 2-1. The Kings are up 2-1. Toronto's up 3-0 against Ottawa. Let's see here. Yeah, the Jets and the Blues. Jets are up 2-1 in that series. The Hurricanes are up 2-1. The Caps up 2-1. And yeah, the Kings up 2-1. So it's going to be a fun series. I love playoff hockey. It is, to me, like the best playoffs out of, every sport. Baseball's right there too, though. I do love baseball. Is great. March Madness is awesome. But yeah, there's just something about playoff hockey. Can't explain it. All right, well, I am going to shut up now, but make sure, guys, if you guys do go to drunkenGentleman.com, use the promo code Taproom Podcast and get 25% off. Because if you just go and just do like the initial one, it just says welcome. It's only 20%. So yeah, make sure you go and check out their t-shirts, man. They're freaking awesome. And Danny from Hop Scene, if you're listening, I know you're a Disney guy. You got to check that. You got to check out those shirts, bro. All right. I hope you guys enjoy the interview. Stay tuned for the outro. All right, guys, we're back in the tap room, and I'm your host, Mike. I have two very special guests on the show today. I have Zeke and Lulu Arianez. How you guys doing?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
We made it happen.
Finally.
I don't know, after you and I talked, was it with Edgar way back when? I can't remember how long ago that was.
I think it's almost a year ago, dude.
Probably. I think it was because it was like Noble's like industry night or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while.
That was badass too.
Oh, that was a fun night. Probably had too many that night.
Yeah.
I had quite a few. But we're having the We Love LA, the West Coast Pills. And what are you having, Lulu?
I'm having less homegirls.
There you go. Nice. I like it. Cheers.
Cheers.
I haven't had this one yet, but I've had a few like We Love LA beers and, got to do anything to support.
So we just released this on Saturday. So it's really fresh, nice, light, but, tanky. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll get you there, bro. That's good. I'm going to end up going through that really fast, probably.
Yeah.
It's definitely an easy drink, but still you're getting a lot of hops.
Oh, yeah.
That flavor, that dankiness, and then a refreshing finish. It's one of my favorites, too.
Oh, it's great. So how did it all start for you guys? Whoever wants to go first.
So for me, I never liked beer.
Okay.
I don't know if, anybody knows this, but I never liked beer in the beginning of my drinking journey.
Okay.
It was Zeke who introduced me to beer. And he introduced me to the Eric and Bastard beers.
Ooh, okay.
And
It's probably not the easiest one to get introduced to.
No, and it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
it was very harsh, but then again, it opened up like the flavors of all the other beers for me.
Yeah.
And so anytime we would go drinking, he would just tell me, hey, take a little sip of my beer here and there. And then we would just talk about it.
Okay.
Then as a joke, I can't remember if it was like birthday present or Christmas present. I got him.
It was a Christmas present, by the way.
Okay.
Christmas, there you go. I got him a Stone homebrewing kit.
Ooh, nice.
And so I was like, since you like beer so much, make it.
Yeah.
And so that's how Twosome came about.
Wow.
And we just loved making beer after that. And it just got bigger. And now we're here.
Love it. What was the style?
It was
like
the
Stone
pale
IPA?
ale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Came out disgusting.
Okay.
But I was hooked already.
Yeah.
I had to buy another one. And then I bought a third.
Yeah.
And then by that time, I had just way too many 1 gallon
Yeah.
little jugs around the house. So from there, we got the 5 gallon, my tia's tamal, you know, her olla.
Yeah.
So that's how we started from going bigger. And then eventually we bought the system that we have right now, which is three kegs turned into kettles.
Okay.
Now we just, we really haven't used it in about a year.
Yeah.
Maybe longer.
Longer than that. I want to say like 3 years that we haven't used that because we had been home brewing for about 5 years.
Okay.
Until we started brewing industry-wise.
Okay.
So we started collabing with different breweries, Brewjeria being our number one collaborator, which is where we released one of our first beers.
Nice.
And ever since then, we've just been so welcomed in the beer industry.
We got hooked, bro.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. So
From there, we got hooked and we're like, yeah, go big or go home.
Yeah. I mean, once you're in, like, once you kind of get that bug, you're just like, yeah, I can't get enough of that.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
No, big time. And then you just want to, like for me, working here at Brewjeria, I love the, being able to work in a big system. And
Yeah.
it's just, the challenge is great, I don't know how to explain it, but I just love, like, being able to maybe make a recipe that we had on a small scale into a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Then even it might not get it right the first time, but just work.
Yeah. But that's what the best part of that's why I love talking to brewers, because of the fact that even it may not work the first time, but you're going to keep tweaking until you get it right, or do you get it dialed in the way you want? But then even then you might be like, oh, I kind of want to change this now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's never good enough.
Yeah, never. Well, it's like chasing a dragon.
Yeah.
But we love it right now. We think we've been meeting such great people, through just simply the clubs that we're in or things like that. But everybody's super cool. And, what's there to hate about this industry?
Nothing. Oh, yeah, for sure. And then, so you guys got the homebrew kit. And then when did you meet Edgar?
Edgar, it's funny. So it was when
it is a funny story.
Our second SoCal Cerveceros meeting.
Okay.
It was at Laurie's house. And I saw him, and before I had done a little bit of research before joining the club and looking at the SoCal Cerveceros, and I noticed this cholo.
Yeah.
And, I noticed this cholo doing a bunch of videos with 8-bit and things like that.
Yeah.
He has a so-called Grand Theft Auto beer, or they had one back in the day.
Yeah.
And they had Edgar on the video, acting like if it was a real life Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And I would see his videos, and the day I saw him, I was like, "Babe, that's that guy.
Yeah.
That's that cholo from Instagram." When I met him, I felt like I met a celebrity, bro.
Yeah.
For reals, I was because I was so interested in the craft game, and I seen him doing that. When I saw he was at, meeting for homebrewers, I was like, wow, that's crazy. How would I be able to meet this guy in someone's backyard?
Yeah.
He was super cool. I still have that picture of me and him. I had to ask him for a picture. I'm telling you, I was a fanboy. I feel like I still act like that today. Meeting, for example, Ben from Boomtown and everyone. They're just so cool. I mean, I love what everyone I love what everyone's doing. So to me, like meeting these people are like, that's where I want to be. I want to be able to have a big brewery and be successful, or at least I think that they are. I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
You look up to the people that you want to like be alike. Like, so
100%, man.
to me, like I said, I love meeting people in this industry because even, you know, I love meeting the homebrewers.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody has their own like great thing. I don't know. We get to learn from each other, and why not, you know, like hype each other up? Like we should, you know.
That's what the craft beer community is all about, man.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to help one another. You know, it's great stuff.
Oh yeah.
So after you met him, how did it happen after that? Like,
so they, Maria, which is Edgar's wife, and Lulu, they
La
became like best
comadre.
friends.
Okay.
Like it was crazy. They clicked like, like. And
Shout out to La Comadre.
there you go.
And then me and Edgar were just kind of like, I was trying to, you know, get to know him. We were cool, but we noticed that they were super cool.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you know, instantly we became friends and, you know, just worked together and all that. So when I was able to work with him, that was great, especially in that big system, man. Like,
Yeah.
I miss it, man.
Oh, I bet. Man.
Badass SS tech, you know, all the buttons you could think about. And
yeah.
all the great stuff. It was a good time, man.
Yeah. And then you came over here?
Yeah, you know, Adrian gave me the opportunity to have, I learned how to brew here in a bigger system.
Yeah.
When they were opening, they were letting me, you know, shadow them and see how it is.
That's
clean
cool,
up
man.
pretty much after them, whatever it was. Eventually, I started, you know, I worked with Bernie Bridge, Beer Thug, and he gave me the opportunity to come and, you know, like, be part of the family. Like, even though I was already just actually diving into being one of the brewers with them.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because even before Brewjeria opened, he would be helping them with a lot of the brews.
Yeah.
And we would always be here too, even before it ever opened. I always love to say that the way Brewjeria looks now to compare to when they were barely rising it up, it's so different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we love to have been part of that growth, you know?
100%.
Super dope.
That's great. And even I was going to mention to you, like, because Pink Boots, because you're like the marketing chair now?
Yeah, so I'm the marketing chair for Pink Boots now. Yeah. Super fun, along with Bridget.
Okay.
So me and her are running the social media, taking pictures whenever we can.
Mm-hmm.
She's really good at the video editing.
There you go.
We're such a great team together. So shout out to Bridget.
Yeah.
But yes, it's been great. I love Pink Boots. I love the opportunities that they bring for all of us. And, you know, for those that don't know, in order to be in Pink Boots, you don't have to be just in the beer craft game.
Mm-hmm.
It's any fermented industry. So we have members from ciders to kombucha to really anything that ferments.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really love being part of that group. I want to say I'm now a year in.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. That's great. I think because the first time I ever like met you or saw you was at Alchemy.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was when Bridget was talking up there when they had like the...
was it last year for the women's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a cool thing to see, and especially just to highlight, you know, females in brewing or like, you know, in the fermenting game. I feel like that's great because if it motivates, you know, another female or anything like that, you know, to be able to try something that maybe that they've been thinking about, or but they're like they don't really know how to start.
Right.
When you can do something like that, you have like a support system like that. It'll make maybe it's not as intimidating.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It's, you know, it's not only open for women. I want to put that out that the Pink Boots Society aims to assist, inspire, and encourage women and also non-binary individuals in the fermented alcoholic beverage industry to advance their career through education.
Yeah.
So it's open really for, you know, anybody who wants to further their education. It's a great group to be part of.
It's awesome. And even like the Cerveceros, and then you talked about the Cerveceros too. Like, what does that, like, those types of clubs or communities mean to you guys?
Yeah. Cerveceras and Pink Boots, Cerveceros, all of that is just, it's so inspiring to see people getting better.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean for Cerveceros, for instance, and Cerveceras, you start off homebrewing. And then I want to say most of the group that we went in with for Cerveceros are now like industry in the beer community.
Yeah.
Like they're brewers, owners, they're, everything. So I feel like seeing that is really cool to see, like the growth, along with Pink Boots as well.
100%.
Yeah, Cerveceros, I feel like they're pretty much killing it right now. We have Brewjeria, Feather Serpent, you have Brown Soul, even Edgar. He's still with us with the brand.
Yeah.
I know I'm forgetting others, but
like Burning Bridge and like
Burning Bridge,
right. I love Ruben. He's such a good dude.
Yeah, dude, and look at them. Like, we went from learning how to brew a couple of years ago to going to festivals. Now, a lot of them are owners or at least in the industry. And so it goes to show that the end results. It's there.
Yeah.
You want to accomplish something, you want to learn it, and then you're officially or somehow tied into being in a setup of like professional brewing, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. Like SoCal Cerveceros, they do a good job of introducing others to people like same hobbies, and they're not afraid to teach, learn, have experiment, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they show. Like they encourage you to try different things. You learn something new from each other, and then you just try and error.
100%. And I know it started off like Chicanos and all that stuff, but now it's like everybody, like, what was it, Masa's the head right now, right? So how cool is that?
Yeah, it's all about the growth,
Yeah.
And that's what's inspiring at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like craft beer does. It brings people together. You can, even if it's just over a beer, like you end up finding out you have those, same hobbies, or you're both homebrewers, and you end up talking for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you're a little sloshed. Who knows? For homebrewing, like, do you remember like the first recipe you did? We were like, damn, like I killed this one.
For me,
for
I want to say, we both brew together all the time. But for my opinion, when it comes to that question, I want to say our Tranquility beer. That one is our blonde with chamomile and lavender.
Ooh, I bet that sounds tasty.
And it was our first time ever making it.
Okay.
And we were like, fuck it, like let's just put it into what is it called? A competition.
Yeah.
Cerveceros was having a competition during that time.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And so we talked about it. We talked about recipe, ingredients. We came up with that flavor. And we're like, we're going to do this. We
awesome.
did it, and it was so good. We ended up winning first place gold.
Yeah. It is. Nice.
And we were like, and it was our first time.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
You're like, this is easy.
I was like, oh my God, we even swiped gold. Yay.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Homebrewing, we did a lot of blondes. It just, that was or at least my favorite to brew, because we could do so much with it, add flavor in any ways, from watermelon candy to, like you said, the lavender chamomile. Then we're doing all kinds of things with that.
That's great, man.
So by the time we got to making that beer, I felt like we were close to perfecting the blonde. We had a base.
Yeah.
We knew that base was perfect to add anything to. So when we tried that, it was hard, just because we're so particular on how much we have to add, the flavor. We didn't want it to taste like soap. So yeah, we did a little bit of homework. We tried it, and then we were just hoping it was going to turn out tasty, and it did. We canned a lot of that.
Yeah,
we got a lot of compliments.
Yeah.
So.
Dang.
Once we did that, we were canning and, giving them out to people.
Yeah.
Hey, like our posts and you'll get a, can of it or whatever. Yeah. And so yeah, we got a lot of comments on it, but people loved it. It was such a hit with like everybody too. So
it's great.
It was really cool to get that feedback.
And you mentioned the watermelon candy one. Like, what's the most unique ingredient you've ever thrown into a beer?
Oh, dude. Girl Scout cookies into like a...
okay.
I'm laughing because they're the day we actually homebrewed that one was just funny. But Tyler, I know you're hearing this and you know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'll tell the story.
Yeah.
So we were in my mom's house, but we had a brew in the front. So we were about to mash in. One of my neighbors just comes out of nowhere, like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And Tyler kind of got scared and drops like a lot of the grain on the floor.
Oh, okay.
And we were like, "Whoa!" Like,
We need it.
Yeah.
so we didn't know
Don't
what
drop our grain.
Yeah, it was funny, but I don't know. It was a funny moment, but still, I mean, we had so much fun just adding, Girl Scout cookies to the stout. Still came out delicious, but we've done that. I mean, we've added guamuchiles to some beer, which people are
Okay.
like, "What is that?" Guamuchiles are the cousin of tamarindo, but they taste like gum.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever even heard of it.
it looks like tamarindo, but imagine it pink.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we try to find fun things that we grew up with. I guess you could say like culture stuff.
Yeah.
We try to add a bunch of stuff that we just would have. We would go to San Diego. The way we made the watermelon candy beer.
Okay.
We went to San Diego and it's literally watermelon candy, and it's kind of like iguana michelada or things like that.
Oh yeah, I bet.
We were always like, man, how could we do this? Like, how could we have that flavor in a beer? Yeah, we ended up taking with water. We would take off all the
Like
sugar.
and then like the chile or whatever that comes
Yeah,
on.
Yeah, so we would like to experiment a lot.
Yeah.
And
That's great.
so, fermentation is important when it comes to brewing.
Yeah, of course.
And so we would ask ourselves, like, if we put this in fermentation, what would happen?
Yeah.
So there was a point where, and this was when he was at his mom's house, his room was like our lab. You would see like all of our experiment candies. You would see the fermenters. You would also see our yeast circulating. Oh my God, it was literally a lab. But that's what homebrewing was all about for us, learning.
Yeah.
And so with the candies, we would steep them in water first.
Oh, okay.
Because the way we would see it being disintegrated in water is how we would imagine the
oil?
beer.
No, in the secondary. So that's after it's done fermenting, you could crash it down a little bit.
Okay.
And that's what we would add it. That's what she's saying.
Gotcha.
Like, we would test it by putting it in water, and then we would see how fast it would take or how long it would take to dissolve.
Oh,
so that would be like a 24-hour experiment. Like if you just left it there.
And that was just us trying to be like little scientists.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
So that's how we would see how long it would take to dissolve.
How it would taste.
I know it sounds weird, but
yeah.
How it would taste, how it would smell, just to see what the finished product would be.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, trial and error. We always, we threw away some, but at the end, we knew that what we had was what we wanted.
What worked and what didn't.
Yeah.
Like we didn't want, for example, that specific beer was a blonde, but we didn't want our blonde to be hazy.
Yeah.
So we figured out a way to pull out the candy before it got haze.
Oh, okay.
So it was super interesting. That one was, I think, the most interesting beer we ever brewed. Yeah.
We ended up finding out that just adding more, steeping it like tea, like little by little.
Okay.
Just gave us more flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So we just started doing that. And the end result was great. We haven't made that beer in a long time.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah.
Because we can't find that specific candy anymore.
Oh, which will, I mean, you don't have to say it on air, but
it wasn't a branded candy. That was the thing, that we had bought it from a candy store. Like the Mexican candy stores that
you
just
they sell you by
put
the
the
pound.
pounds.
Clear wrap.
Todo barato,
Yes.
Gotcha, yeah.
By the pound. So we even have gone to swap meets to find the specific flavor we're looking for.
Wow.
And there you can't find it.
Damn.
So it's that beer will one day come. Yes.
What was the Girl Scout one like, the stout?
It was, nice because I think, what are they called? Samosas?
Yeah, they're the samosas. So you got a lot of chocolate
caramel
flavor, caramel flavor. To me, it was on the velvet side. So it was not that it was super thick to drink, but you do get a nice velvet taste to it. And by that is because of the melted chocolate.
Yeah.
So all of that came together really well.
Yeah.
With the coconut.
We added that in the mash too, so once again, we added a lot. Like, I forgot how many boxes we had.
Yeah.
It was my coworker. He's like, how many cookies do you want? And we thought about
You're
that.
like, all of them.
And we were like, I want the boxes, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, like 2 or 3 little boxes. I'm like, no, bro.
Yeah.
Talking about like bigger. So he was super happy. Like, I know they were raising money to go to Disneyland or whatever.
that's
so
cool.
it made it even better.
Yeah,
like,
for good cause.
Helping them out. And then we got what we wanted. So it was great.
Yeah.
But tasty, it was easy. Once again, I wouldn't know how to add those cookies in the secondaries. That's why we were thinking, well, if it melts, whatever, we get something from it in the mash.
Yeah.
So that's why when we talked to Tyler, we all, collaborated on it had to be in the mash, just because we were afraid that because of the style of the cookies, we might have something off in the fermentation side. So in the hot side, we killed whatever possible, and we had a great beer.
There you go. What's your favorite style?
To brew or to drink?
We'll do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite style to brew is any lager or pilsners.
Okay.
They take longer.
Yeah.
They're more picky.
A little bit more care.
Yeah, they're more picky, but that's what I love about it. I love to see the growth. I love to see, I'm sure everyone hearing is knowing the fact that we love to experiment and we like to take notes and stuff like that. So to me, that's the geeky side, and I love that.
Okay.
So I love to see how the beer ages. So that's why I love brewing that type of beer. And to drink, I guess depending on my day, I don't have like a specific style.
Yeah.
But if I do see like a brown ale or an amber or anything like on the maltier side, I'll check that out first for sure.
Okay. How about you, bro?
Right now, I think I really like making the IPAs, dude.
All right.
There's so much you can do, once again, either adding in the hot side or more in the cold side. Hops bring out so much flavor, but it just depends what you want from them. So right now, I'm really invested in. I'm trying to invest my time to know what, like, how hops could help me in what stages. Like, soon I want to make a beer, but I want to add hops to the mash first. Kind of like what we've done before is a lot of first wort, which means as soon as we're pulling from the mash tun into the kettle, you add hops, and that's like the first. That's even before boiling. So it gives it a different character. But in the mash, it would give it something else.
Oh yeah,
I haven't done that yet in a big scale, so I want to do that. The last time I did that was at Common Corners with Justin.
Okay.
And I thought that was it was amazing, like the way it smelled in there after we threw the hops in the mash. Like it just, it got stuck in my head. Like,
oh, I bet
this is something I want to do on my own project.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do something like that right now. We just recently made the Galactic Defender, which we added most of the hops now on the colder side, giving it a whole different mouthfeel. On this, We Love LA, we wanted just a little bit more of that bitter, but still easy. So we added a smaller amount to the 60, which is the boil.
Yeah.
And then later try to find, I want to say at the last 5-10 minutes, then we would have a little bit more of those hops. Everything else is on dry hops. So
yeah,
I'm telling you, there's so many ways to use hops that I want to invest my time a little bit to know exactly when to use them and what I want as the end result.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And there's always new trends, right?
Yeah,
there was hazies, obviously. Well, like always, the haze craze, the summer of seltzer, I would say. But then you see browns coming back. You see pilsners. You see West Coast pilsners on every menu. Everybody's using Crush.
Yeah.
now, but before it was HPC, whatever. And it's really cool for you two, obviously being together and loving to experiment like that and supporting one another. Because a lot of times when it comes to breweries or wanting to go to breweries and stuff like that, there may be another partner that might be we're going to a brewery again.
Yeah.
And Lulu's all in. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so awesome to be able to go home and talk about if something just stuck in my head, I'll ask you or talk talk to her about it. Like, man, what you think about this? Like,
Yeah.
did it stand out to you, or what you think about that? And I'm able to still, like learn a little bit more, just because I want to know her perspective, because obviously it's
she might see it a different way.
Yeah, she might think it's horrible. I might be tasting trash. I don't know.
We definitely bounce off of each other.
That's great.
And that's what I love about us brewing together. It's he has an idea and we just write it off.
Yeah.
Or I have an idea and we bounce back. So we're definitely a team. That's why we're twosome,
Yeah, that's great. I mean, and what's better than that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Having that support system, and and if you maybe like if she does tell your beer's not good on this one, then get back in there, try it again.
Yeah.
But this is fantastic.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, it was really, really good, and I'm glad we finally got to do this. I'll say, could we grab another beer? I'll hit pause.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, we're back. Now we're all drinking the We Love LA.
Yeah.
So good. So if you're in the area, you got to come down to Brewjeria. Got to support. We were talking about it a little off air. I just think it's so cool how you guys support one another, and how you guys all, you guys found one another, high school sweethearts, right?
Yeah. High school sweethearts, all of the above.
There it is. And did you guys grow up in Pico?
Yes.
Okay. So, you guys went to El Rancho?
Yeah. Born and
Everything
raised
right here.
Pico.
We graduated in 08.
Oh, it was 05.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
You're from, you came to El Rancho?
Yeah.
Wow.
My mom and my family lived in Pico. Like my grandma was from Hawaii, but met my grandpa because he lived here.
Okay.
He was actually the first graduating class of El Rancho.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
and then
awesome.
My dad lives in Pasadena, but I would still always come here. So I just went to school out here, and
That's
Nice.
dope.
Yeah.
Well,
so we were in school together.
we bleed blue.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's crazy. We were in school together, though.
Yeah.
Go
you guys-
Dons.
Yeah, you guys would have been, sophomores or freshmen?
Mhm.
Sophomores when you were.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Everything comes around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pico is a small town, but I feel like we all just unite in the end, to be honest.
Oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Costa Garcia, obviously.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
Hell
Costa
yeah.
Garcia. People were like, what the fuck is Costa Garcia? Like, dude, you just got to go.
yeah.
If you're not a Pico person,
Go to Casa Garcia. The
Yes.
chile verde nachos.
Oh, yeah,
amazing,
bomb.
bro.
original. Because
Yeah.
now they do like crazy things with like beans and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I get beans on mine now, too.
Oh, you
I
do?
know.
I
I
haven't
do.
tried it. I'm a classic girl.
Oh,
so
yeah.
chile verde original.
But even like Mario's. I've been going to Mario's since I was little
Mario's?
with my dad. Yeah.
I love Mario fries. Extra crispy for me.
Oh, yeah. My sister so I have to drive up to see my sister not have to. I go up there to see my sister every once in a while. She's going to listen to me. It's like, you're a dick. But every time I get like, because she never gets to have Mario. So like, I order 10 bean and cheese burritos and I take them up to her.
Love that.
The French fries never make it, but
Sometimes even when I'm here in the tap room and
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to call in to get my bean and cheese burrito or
yeah.
my crunchy tacos because
Mhm.
it's just right here.
Mhm.
I cannot not get it.
Oh, it's great. It's good stuff. I want to ask you, so the brew house here, how long have you been here, Lulu? We'll start with you.
Like
At Brewjeria.
technically working at Brewjeria.
Yeah.
I've been here for about 4 years now.
Okay.
So we've been open for 5. I want to say I've been here for about 4. Yeah, I've been the taproom manager. I do the social media, brewing sometimes here and there. And yeah, I have a lot of hats here.
I love it. That's great.
I've only been here for maybe 3 months max.
Technically.
And Lulu's like, I got you beat.
But like we've said before, we've been here
Since
ever
day one.
since
before this place
scraping
looked
the
like
walls
this.
and
Yeah. Painting, scraping, everything you could think.
I bet.
We're really supportive of the first brewery that came to our hometown.
Yeah.
We're super excited. Pico, doesn't have things like, I feel like we have to travel sometimes to, find things at it.
Oh, yeah.
But having the brewery here, I feel like keeps people here, brings the community to see what could be done. Like, yeah, I was so excited. We even went to there's a city council meeting to see.
yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
That's
it's funny
awesome.
how it all came about because I think it was like our first Cervecero meeting
Yeah,
where we
our
met
very first one.
Augustine.
Wow.
And
We met them at Ambitious Ales.
Yeah.
It was like, we have to go here.
Yeah.
I want to meet these guys.
That's great, man.
And we went, we met, we happened to meet Augustine. He invited us. because we told him, hey, we're from Pico too. Like, we're so excited for you to come here.
Yeah.
He's like, you are? All right, well, come join us at the city hall tomorrow.
Yeah.
We did, like we supported them. We said why they should be in our city.
Yeah.
And then that same night, they're like, hey, you want to go to the building? Because they weren't even calling it a brewery.
They were,
cool.
It was like a building with lights.
Yeah. So it was an empty building, and they're like, you want to come try some of the beer? We were like, of course. Like, what?
Yeah.
So we came, nothing, like it was just bones. Right? And we're trying the beer here with everyone else, all their friends, and everyone that was at the city hall meeting. So it was cool ever since. We just never left.
Yeah.
And
ever since they didn't get rid of us.
Yeah, there you go. I think Augie told me when I first talked to him all those years, like a couple of years ago, like that Pico was against it at first, and then they came around. Because I mean, I think people had like not a stigma, but they thought like a brewery was like a bar.
Yeah, I feel like Pico is really traditional.
Yeah,
when it comes,
old school.
Very old school,
So
very traditional. They didn't know about like what breweries were.
Yeah,
until they probably heard it from other cities.
They probably thought about it as a bar.
Yeah.
And how are you going to bring your dog or your kids to a bar?
Yeah.
That's probably what they were thinking. But I mean, it's a family place. It really is.
Yeah.
It's all about, coming here, gathering with your friends. You might have your kids, dog, whatever it is. It's so cool that breweries are, they're so open and inviting to any of that.
Yeah.
Some might not be, some might be a little less than others, but still it is a cool hangout spot.
And it's really cool, being that I work the Taproom.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see like the council members or the mayor come in and have a beer and chill.
Yeah.
Whether it be with their families or, their friends, or sometimes they come catch a beer after work. And it's really cool to see that, being that I'm a resident here.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, we always have, any council member that comes in, they know me.
Yeah, that's great.
And we always talk about the city, or they talk to me about, things that are coming up and stuff. And I think that's so cool, being that, I'm here, I'm working, they see me, and I get to find out things that are going on in the city that I live in. It's really cool.
Yeah, she came back one time making me vote for...
Yes. I'm not going to say the name, but yes. I made all my family vote for certain people.
There you go. Yeah, getting the politics involved. I'm just kidding.
In all good things.
Yeah. No, of course. But I mean, Pico, I feel like it'll always, no matter where I go, I always have family here, so it'll always kind of be home for me.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, for me, that's what it feels like. You want to venture out and do stuff, but then you think back I just love where I'm at.
Yeah.
It's great. It's not only home, but it's for me, I used to work in Hollywood, and people are like, man, you live all the way over there? I was like, yeah, but from where I live, I could come to Hollywood in an hour, or go to a beach in less than an hour, or even the mountains, whatever it is. And I think it's a perfect spot. Growing up, I didn't think that.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm
we get a little wiser as we get older.
Yeah. Now I go golf. I just started golfing.
Okay.
I go to the Pico Rivera golf course. If I need to go fish, even if I just want to go do lake fishing, quote unquote, I go to Lake.
Okay.
Or, we take a trip down to the beach, hit up the pier, whatever it is. And what isn't there to love? I'm in the middle of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, it's great because, it is really, like you said, old school, family oriented. But I mean, it did take forever, even just to get the shit built on Washington. Remember? Because was it Boeing? No, it wasn't Boeing.
It used to be the oil companies.
Yeah, but there was that, and then they also had the airplane. Was it Bishop Gorman, I think?
Yeah. So they would build airplanes.
Oh my God. And then it looked like endless hills.
Yeah.
Before. And now it's like Walmart.
Yeah. Remember we had a Montgomery Ward over here
where Target was. Yes. I remember that Montgomery Ward.
Yeah, I missed the drive-thru that we used to have here on
the drive-thru.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I know we all grew up
Casa Garcia's there now.
Yeah. Yeah, the drive-in theater?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do remember, yeah. I was like, wait a second. I was like, I remember something, but I think I saw Jurassic Park there.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of movies there with my family too.
I remember the first movie I ever saw there was Titanic with my family.
Oh shit! There you go.
They didn't. By the way, they didn't speak any English.
No, and that was a long movie.
A long movie,
English.
and then they get to see an encuerada and all that. So, yeah.
Oh, that's funny, man. That's cool though. And even through all the stuff, like going to the meeting, and now like going to that meeting to and you met Augie or and well probably Adrian as well, and then now you're here, like everything comes full circle. Like, what do you guys feel like for both of you, like some of the biggest challenges you guys have faced along the way?
For me, one of the challenges as Twosome is trying to figure out what to brew and who our audience is.
Okay.
Being that we are so open to collaborating with different breweries, we want to capture that. And 100%. I feel like so far with the collaborations we have made already, we've got that. But that's one of the challenges, in my opinion, for myself, is trying to capture that part.
Yeah.
I mean, like you say, to come full circle, the challenge is just, knowing what people really want in a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I like something and I want to brew that, but I want to brew what's going to attract people to come here and, help out the business pretty much. Yeah. But also learn at the same time, if it's whatever, making seltzers, I understand that seltzers are super basic, but they don't have to be.
Yeah. And they're not going anywhere.
No, I mean, that's fair. I mean, people order them, right?
Yeah.
People order them all the time.
Yeah.
We made a seltzer here. It was blue. And people still to this day ask for that blue seltzer because they just want to post it, and the flavor was amazing. It was blueberry.
It was cool. Yeah, it was very blue, like very blue.
Yeah.
So we called it Brewjeria.
Brewjeria.
That's cool. There you
go. And, it's like, for example, for Dodger season, it's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Someone doesn't want to drink beer, that's that. And they get to post a fun picture. So,
yeah. And a lot of it, if it's Instagrammable, right? Like you have that, but then it also could be like a gateway kind of thing into trying something different, maybe trying a sour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always recommend, like, if people like the seltzers here, I mean, if you like the seltzers here, if you try our sour, the Fulanita, I feel like it's the next step. It's not too sour. It's soup. It has a lot of fruit. It has dragon fruit, strawberries, and pineapple.
Yeah.
What else can you ask for? It's super juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that could lead to a hazy, maybe. Like, something that could lead to something else. And then before you know it, they're like, hopheads.
Yeah. And it takes that little step.
Yeah. 100%. And even like what I love too is like even on the tap list, like incorporating local culture. Obviously, we talked about Pico a little bit, not a little bit, a lot. But like, and I love that because if you can incorporate local culture into the tap room and into the beer that you're brewing, like what's better than that?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have, for example, we have a beer here called the Boulevard.
Yeah.
And that's just to highlight the sports arena here in Pico Rivera.
Yeah.
That's one of the last ones standing, actually, where it comes for charreros. And if you don't know what that means, that's just pretty much when a charro, when they're fighting the bulls and, riding the bulls and all that stuff, this one in Pico, in the sports arena, that's one of the last ones left in the country. Yeah. And so, not a lot of people know that, but that beer is to highlight that.
That's cool.
We try to bring in, the culture, the city, the environment that we're currently in. We try to always incorporate that so the city is aware or it just those around us.
It's great.
Also, Dos Encantos, if you come and pick up a 4-pack when we have it here, that's another Twosome collaboration that we have with Brewjeria. It's the old school Pico logo that we recreated. That's to say Dos Encantos, and then you can find some hops in there.
Yeah, instead of having like the traditional flowers, and I forgot what they had there, but we made it into like the wheat and the hops, and all that stuff that we use for that beer.
Okay.
We're always looking to incorporate something in the city to, remind people like, hey, we're here. Like, we're proud of where we are and where our roots came from.
Yeah. Where we grew up.
Oh, for sure. And this place on a Friday night, it's like popping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
So good music. And
Oh, yeah.
people are dancing all over the place here.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. I mean, like the last couple of times I've come on a Friday, it's like, man, like, I mean, the only time I ever saw it kind of so was like, it was a Valentine's Day because it was because it's Valentine's Day. But even then, like, more than half the tap room was full.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They come here before you go to your real day or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Because people love the chill vibes, you know.
Oh,
we
yeah.
try to definitely make people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I hear it a lot from our customers here at Brewjeria where they say, I feel like I'm at my aunt's house here.
That's
like
cool.
the music is vibing,
Yeah.
the dim lights.
We
There
will
you
play your tia's music. Though.
We will. Those cumbias be popping.
There you go. Oh, I love that. Even like, so when you, even along your guys' journey, like with craft beer and everything like that, what were some other breweries that you guys would like to frequent or go to?
I have two favorite ones right now. It
Okay.
would be Everywhere
Okay.
and Ism.
Okay.
They
yeah.
stand out to me because obviously, I had said already earlier in the podcast where I love the lagers,
Oh,
the
yeah.
pilsners, the crispies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're shining to me right now.
Yeah. And Ian is a sweetheart too. So I mean, I always
Yeah.
want to support Ian. I freaking love Ian.
Absolutely.
He's a wizard with that in the brewery. So
Two local ones that I really like to go to are Feather Serpent and La Hatra.
okay.
But one that's not so local is Bottle Logic.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Bottle Logic, dude.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm hooked on their Logic Light.
Nice.
Dude.
And I feel like a lot of people don't know that about Bottle Logic is that they don't only just carry heavier barrel style beers.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there, try their menu. They have everything.
Yeah.
But everything is so good.
I love it.
From their lights to their hazies to even
West
their
Coast
experimentals.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
so good.
Their Fuzzy Logic was fire. I don't know if
Oh,
you had that
yes.
one. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
That peach.
The peach one? Yes. Shout out to Sam.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's
What
like,
about you?
oh, there's just so many. I feel like, I will say Level Up just because I'm there all the time. And me and Luis, they honestly, I've had almost all of his beers there. And he also does like agua frescas too for people. And he's going to
There you
start
go.
canning those.
Nice.
Oh, wait, hold on. I might have to edit that part out. But he does all these different things. I haven't had one bad beer from the guy.
Nice.
And we're doing Taproom Tales together, which is fun. You can just,
You guys have some cool videos together.
yeah, that's what
We need to go try out that place.
I know we haven't been there, but dude,
Yeah,
like
definitely
looking at those
gotta come
videos,
down.
it's cool.
The videos are fun, man. I'm like, it's funny because I was talking to Sandra from Innovation Brewworks the other day, and she was just like, "How long have you guys known each other?" I was like, "Only like 4 or 5 months." And she was like, "I thought you guys have known each other like your whole lives." I was like, "No, we met. He was on the show and became really good friends after." So
Hey, sometimes that happens like that.
yeah,
you
that's what
know?
craft beer does. Right?
Mhm.
It's the best. Sorry for the awkward silence there.
We needed to chug.
Oh yeah, I needed the beer. Your approach to brewing, like through the years, like how's that changed for you guys? Obviously, go upscaling, but like even through the homebrew days, what was that like for you guys?
Well, how can I put this? It's just hard to say. It's just everything's a challenge all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It doesn't end. It's simply there's always a different style. There's always a different way. I try to always ask as many questions as I can, especially to my friends. Like, how did you do that? Or like that style, what you used, whatever it is. Like, I try to incorporate that all the time. And, when I could change something, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, in a bigger scale, sometimes I prefer that you don't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get the opportunity, then, I try it. But I just got to keep asking questions.
Yeah.
Like that's why I said I love the clubs because they give you those, like, you can answer, they're willing to answer any question, or if they know, even if they don't know, they'll tell you what they found out about this or whatever. So you try to think like, hey, this makes sense, or let me put this together. How can I heard this more than once.
Yeah.
So, it's always a challenge, but it's a little hard to say just because, we try to find different ways, but it just like whatever works, we stick with, and whatever doesn't, we
Yeah. And then eventually you can try something different after, or you can try something new eventually down the road.
Yeah, I feel like brewing itself is just all about learning.
Mm-hmm.
And what me and my wonderful husband, what we like to do is we like to go to seminars. We like to go out and see what other people teach us. You know, being part of these groups, they bring in other people that are teaching you about malts, or they're teaching you about yeast fermentation and how to grow your library.
Yeah.
Or they're teaching you how to differentiate your different hop styles. And
the
list can go on. But we always like to grow our knowledge. And
it's great.
It never stops. You know, and like how he said, it's all about asking questions and seeing how other people approach different situations in brewing, or what did you add to your beer that makes it different from this blonde that I'm trying because it tastes different.
Yeah.
So it's all about that. Yeah. And on top of that, going to different breweries and just trying out the different styles of beers and how they do the IPAs and blondes, pilsners, whatever it is, and seeing what they did different. So
love it.
All of that just grows our knowledge. And that's what we would bring in when we brew.
Mm-hmm. I love it. And if you guys ever do find that watermelon candy,
oh hell yeah, I'm still in the search.
I need to try it. And if anybody's listening, I mean, if you maybe send over some watermelon candy to Brewjeria, so they can.
You can find me at Brewjeria. I'll taste it.
There you go. She'll let you know if it's the right one. What are some other hobbies that you guys have? I mean, I know you just started golfing. How about you, Lulu?
Me right now, my biggest hobby that I just started. I started a book club.
Okay.
And it's just me and a couple of friends. Shout out to our book club things.
Nice. Hey, I love to read. So what kind what books do you like?
So we just like anything. It just depending on the season. Like for Halloween, we read like a thriller.
Okay.
Right now, we're reading The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is so crazy. That book is crazy.
Okay.
But I love it. But yeah, we're open to anything.
Okay.
And we just started our book club. And so that's my hobby right now. Just we're going to go to the LA Book Fair. So that's next month. So we're doing that. We get together at my house usually. And we just talk about the books. We also read Wicked before it came out in the movies.
Okay.
And then we go and watch the movies. So it's super fun. I love it. It's definitely my hobby right now.
Love it. And speaking of books, what elementary school did you guys go to?
I went to Valencia.
Okay, I went to South Ranchito.
So my story is funny because I live in the region where they weren't too sure where to split the elementary.
Yeah.
So for kinder and first, I went to McGee.
Okay.
And then I went for second grade, I went to Miller, which is now an adult school.
Yeah.
And then for third and on, I went to Salby Grove.
Was that closer to like Burke over there?
Yeah, so it was by the train tracks.
Yeah.
So it's now a continuation school.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's so crazy. My elementaries don't exist anymore except McGee.
Yeah. But the reason I was asking because I used to I would con my mom because my mom and dad, they're divorced, but I would always con them out of like $20 each for the book fair.
The Scholastic?
Yeah.
Did you know that there's like a Scholastic mobile, an adult Scholastic book?
Don't lie to me.
That comes to different breweries.
Motherfucker.
So
damn it.
I'm definitely getting the contacts.
Yeah, tell me.
So I'll let you know.
Yeah. Because
I just found this out, and thanks to TikTok, because I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm a Scholastic nerd.
There you go. Yeah, I loved it as a kid. Like I said, I would tell my
Me too.
I would tell my dad, I was like, hey dad, I need $20 for the book fair. Mom has to wait till next week for her paycheck or whatever. But then I would say the same thing to my mom. So I'd end up go to the book fair for $40 and load up on books. But I would also buy the occasional comic book and stuff. Actually, not the occasional. I'd buy a lot of comic books.
That's so funny.
But yeah, I loved reading. But they were cool about it. They were like, "All right, we'll buy you these things, but you have to read every night." Mm-hmm. So I would read every night.
Yeah,
I still do. There's some nights where I'm like, I'm going to bed. I've had too many.
Yeah.
I can't read tonight.
No, I get you on that.
But that's cool though. Like, I mean, like finding something else to kind of, to do that. And that's fun.
Super fun. I love it.
Yeah. Any fun taproom stories through the years?
For me, I think my most memorable taproom story for me would be the first time Cerveceros released homegirls here at Brewjeria.
Okay.
We put the event together. I ended up inviting this all woman. So we were highlighting Women's Day.
Yeah.
And so Las Homegirls is originated from Cerveceras. So it was me, Tyler, Lori, Janet, Maria, the OGs, if I didn't call your name.
Yeah.
There's too many of you, but I love you all.
You're going to get a DM like, wow, you forgot my name.
So we came about to do Homegirls.
Okay.
And so we put the event together. I ended up hitting up the All Women's Lowrider Club.
Okay.
And we filled up not only the tap room, but the whole parking in the back was all lowriders, and they were all owned by women.
That's cool.
And we were taking pictures. Everybody was enjoying the beer. We had a backdrop. Everybody was taking pictures. So we had a line for beer.
Yeah.
All the way through the front, passing the smoke shop.
Dang.
Like, long ass line.
Wow.
4-packs sold out. DJs were all women too.
Yeah.
It was such a fun event.
Okay.
And it was my most memorable.
Love it.
Mine was just sitting back and watching that. It was super cool, dude. Well, dude, imagine all these, not only lowriders, but classic cars filling up the whole parking lot back there.
That's cool.
Like, what we were doing is we would park our cars first to, like, as the girls would come, we would just get out.
Yeah, so they can have.
So
at the end, we were like, wow, we don't have enough space. So they would start just parking in front of other cars.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, what's happening?
Yeah.
We looked inside the bar, and it's like the line is coming out.
That's
and
awesome.
It's coming out to the street.
Dang.
So we had to stop the line and say we have to stop serving for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want...
And people didn't move. They still stood in line.
The fire department was right down the street. So we were like, but we don't want to get shut down.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
So
everybody was panicking.
Yeah. So
awesome.
You could imagine, I'm just on the sidelines like, dang.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the most memorable for me too. Just,
That's
it
great.
was so cool to see that, like, I got to say, women don't get enough credit
100%,
when they
man.
should.
Yeah.
And not only because, my wife here, but that day just made me realize, like, wow, like, there's so much out there that we just don't, like, give them credit for.
Yeah.
Seeing that day made me realize that they support each other so much, bro.
That's great.
Like, it was so cool to see.
Yeah.
Like, to me, looking at that, I could never compare.
Yeah.
So I could honestly say that seeing that, like, gives me hope for, like, different things in the future. But it also makes me realize that you just got to pay respect to whoever is doing the work.
Yeah.
And when they do the work, there should be, like, it should be encouraged by everyone.
100%.
It was so dope, dude.
It's great.
We released so many different beers from, like, our first one to whatever it is, or any other ones. And we look at it and we're like, nah, that day.
Yeah.
And they still want to, like, collaborate with us again. The Lowrider Women Club.
Yeah.
They really want to, like, do something, and they're always hitting me up. They're telling me to, like, go on drives with them.
Yeah.
Like, they're so cool.
But I think it's
Love
just because
that.
we showed, like, look what we, like, together, what they can do.
Yeah.
And it was such a great time.
It was
like,
that feeling, that empowerment, It was
great.
It was definitely shown that day.
If you guys could collab with any brewery, like, what brewery do you think it'd be?
oh.
Oh, you can both have different answers. So
I would love to collaborate with Ism.
okay.
If Twosome could collaborate with Ism, I think I would be very nerdy about it because their beers are just amazing. So shout out to them, because I hope to one day, work with them one day.
Yeah. Have you ever met Ian?
I want to say I have.
Okay.
I think in the the Pink Boots, we had a meeting out there. I want to say sometime last year. I think I met him in a quick meet and greet.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's a big I always call him a big old teddy bear. But yeah, maybe I could send him a message or something.
Oh, hell yeah.
That'd be sweet. Yeah. How about you,
I've
bro?
met him before, but he
There
probably
you go.
doesn't remember me. You know, once again, I'm I look up to these guys, so
Yeah.
I always try to say at least hello or something, introduce myself. You know, I understand they meet so many people. You know,
Yeah.
but I try to put just a face, but I understand they probably won't remember me, but that's okay. I know I met them, so it's cool. A brewery that I would want to collaborate with has Twosome. Once again, like my favorite brewery, Bottle Logic, dude.
That would be sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, our good friend there, Sam works there,
Okay.
and he's super cool, super nice.
Yeah.
We love him.
Yeah, we do.
What does he do there? Is he a brewer?
Yeah, well, I know he
We don't know his exact
yeah,
title.
we don't know exactly,
Okay.
but I know
But
he does everything.
yeah.
All right, he helped. He's one of those guys that just. He used to work at Radium. Now he's there, and then I'm pretty sure.
And then he's so
knowledgeable in everything.
humble.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Love that.
he wouldn't say like, "Oh yeah, I'm the brewer. I make
No,
the
that's
beer."
the thing. That's the awesome thing. Like we don't know, but he's just like, "Hey guys, I'm here. Like,
Yeah.
what's up?" And
That's great.
yeah, his energy is amazing.
Super cool.
So yeah, like I said, like we're not sure what he does there, but whatever it is, I know he's doing a great job.
Okay.
That's another guy that he makes meads and stuff like that, and he's not only there commercial, but he home brews in a way.
Yeah.
Like he's so selective what honey he's gonna use for his meads and things like that.
Love it.
Very knowledgeable. So
It's great.
like I know that what he's doing is just like he gave us a bottle for our
wedding. Mm-hmm.
A meat bottle. He's like, don't open this into like another 2 years or a year.
Yeah.
So I know he takes his craft serious.
Yeah.
And we try to surround ourselves with people like that. Just learn from each other. So I would want to collaborate with them, not only because of him, but like I know they have an amazing system and all that. So I would also want to learn from them.
Yeah. 100%. Love that. Two great breweries too.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just a couple more things. Desert Island beers. You can pick one craft, one domestic. The craft doesn't have to be a specific beer. It could be like a style of beer. But what would you we'll start with you, Lulu.
I'm gonna choose the Logic Light.
Okay.
So
like it.
that's my for sure. It's so crispy.
Yeah.
Light. It's oh my god, it's making
great.
me want to go out there right now.
Yeah.
That beer is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We bought 2 12-packs just for Super Bowl because we're not drinking anything else. Like,
And we're not going anywhere. Yeah.
I love it.
for me, I guess because she took mine. I would want to say style was Host Pilsner.
Okay. Love it.
It's crushable, but a lot of flavor. I don't think I would get tired of them just because I don't know, it's like there's so much going on, but yet light enough for me to keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Without being too crazy.
Yeah.
I could have 4 maybe, and that'd be, oh my God, like tripping.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not falling on the floor or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Being in an island, I want something light so I could just, chill and enjoy the sun, whatever it is, the breeze.
What about like a domestic or macro?
I don't know. I don't want to get hated on.
No, it's all good.
You know what? No matter what, on a summer day, no matter what it is, it's fucking hot. I have to have a cold Modelo.
Okay.
Like, something about like, I remember when I started drinking beer, in the summer, me and our friends just had to have Modelos.
Okay.
So
I was always more of a Pacifico guy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that as my domestic. I'm like the Pacifico for me.
Yeah.
No, I could crush a good amount of Modelos.
There you
Yeah.
go. All right. I like it. Favorite food to pair with a beer?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Okay. Oh,
Pizza.
both same answer.
Pizza.
All right. What about
Love
toppings?
pizza. Extra pepperoni.
Extra pepperoni, extra crispy. But if we're going to Downey,
Okay. Like Downey Pizza Company?
pastrami.
Okay. Downey
Yes.
Pizza Company. All right.
Yeah, we get half and half every time we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Half pastrami, half pepperoni?
Yeah, oh, dude. So, best of both worlds.
Delicious.
There you go. At least you didn't say pineapple. We're okay. Almost had to end the interview right there. I'm just kidding. I know some people love it. I love pineapple, but just not on my pizza.
I'm not opposed to it, but it's not my go-to.
Yeah. I catch shit for it all the time. They're like, how could you not like pineapple on pizza? Like, I don't know. It's like not for me.
That's funny. But
Yeah.
your grandpa's Hawaiian.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, I love pineapple. I just can't do it on pizza. Like we'll make like teriyaki burgers on the flat top, or like
Love that.
I'll make like grilled spam with pineapple, grilled pineapple on it. Delicious.
Oh my God, yes.
But yeah, on a pizza, it's like, no. Like, get that away from me.
That's funny.
Last two things. So I left one question off specifically,
Uh-oh.
but I'll ask you that one in a second. So obviously Twosome, because I wanted to ask you like about like what if you would open up a brewery, what the name would it be? But I know it'd be Twosome.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask like what would your flagship beers, or what would your tap list look like?
Oh.
If like, I'm not gonna say if, when that happens.
Like, I would want to say, because we would like to open in Pico Rivera.
Yeah.
Lagers.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, I was gonna say that too.
you know,
Pilsners.
there's so many different styles that you could do, German style lagers, whatever it is, all beer, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think introducing our people to lagers at first I understand that we have Brewjeria already, but the craft beer still, it hasn't shined here so much yet.
Yeah.
There's still people that come in and they're still like, oh my God, lived here all my life. This is my first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think just introducing people to lagers to,
Yeah.
get them in here first. But obviously, like West Coast Pilsners, hazies, of course, a couple stouts. But for the audience that we're trying to get here in our city, I would think lager.
Yeah, like Pilsners, lagers, and blondes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just to start off at least.
On our watermelon candy.
Yeah,
Hell
candy,
yeah.
correct. Yeah.
But I feel like you guys would just go off experimenting too. Like, and I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that.
Oh,
because,
absolutely.
yeah, because then you can have like your base set, especially like lagers. Like you can kind of like make that your thing, but then also have the experimental stuff on the side.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of? I want to give a shout out to Solaris. Their beers are like,
Oh yeah, bangers.
Really great experimental hazies, sours, but yet you get some of the best classic lagers that you could.
With experimental, like I remember we had a smoked lager there.
Yeah,
That was
and I think it was a
so
collaboration with
good.
Brewers or something.
Oh
like that.
really?
Dude, great.
So good.
Yeah. Dang.
good.
I forgot about that one. That one's on my top 3 for sure.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, I think what they're presenting there right now is something that I would want to show, because they have really traditional style beers, but at the same time they have a lot of experimental beers.
Mm-hmm.
I know they have I think it's a berry wheat sour.
Okay.
It's really good, dude.
I think if I remember correctly too, because it's far out by Temecula, so we're
Yeah.
not there all the time. But I had a sapphire beer there once,
Mm-hmm.
and that was so interesting. I'm like,
Wow.
sapphire, I have to get that just
Yeah.
because, I love experimenting. I want to taste the flavors. I want to
Yeah.
see what that's all about. So I grabbed that, and even I was like, oh my God, this is crazy good. It was
Yeah.
crazy good. Yeah.
It's great. I feel like that would be good, and like you guys together would like it couldn't fail because of how much like you guys care about the product and want to make sure that everybody's enjoying what they have. So whenever that happens, I'll be there on opening day. To let me
Oh,
know.
thank
Thank you,
you.
man.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Soon.
Yeah.
Let's put that out there.
Yeah.
Manifest
There you
it.
There it is. We got to do it, right? Last thing. So these are the things this is what I left off. I think if you had to describe yourself, well, both of you guys, in one word, what would it be?
Oh my God.
Hardworking.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah.
For me,
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
I know. I didn't even see that question.
Yeah. Do that one on purpose.
It's very hard for me to like reflect on how to describe myself.
Mhm.
But I think one thing that really does outshine for me is outgoing.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people think maybe my face says that I'm mean or unapproachable, but I really am outgoing, and I'm really open to like, if you want to pick my brain on anything. So if you're
nice.
out there and you're listening, you see me in the tap room, you see me behind a bug or anything,
Yeah. There you go.
come up to me. Talk to me if you want to talk beer or anything else. I'm open.
Love it. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for for letting me come down and talking to you guys and picking your brain a little bit.
Thank you for, having us in your show.
Thank you. We finally made it happen.
I know.
Yay.
I'm glad we got to do it, and it's been super fun, and we can have maybe a beer or two and hang out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, even though we've been hanging out. But I think that's really cool that you guys are both from Pico, and I love that. Because I know I'm going to sound like a broken record. I love how much you guys care about each other, how much you support each other. And I truly mean that, because that's not something that you come across all the time, especially when one person's into something and the other person's not. When you guys are both into it, you found your soulmate.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Well, one more cheers.
Woo!
Finish this off.
Cheers.
Thanks so much for being on. Lulu, Zeke, if you guys are in the area, come down to Brewjeria, say hi. And then whenever Twosome opens, we'll all be there.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, Zeke and Lulu, I just want to say thank you again. And I probably sound like a broken record, but I'm really, truly grateful. And I know I mentioned it on the intro, but I just think it's so awesome how much you guys support each other. And I feel like that's not something easy to find, So I think that's really great. And I'm just, the way you guys love the industry and the way you guys support one another, that's so awesome. And that's something that should be celebrated. Let's see. So next week's episode is the Texas episode. When I was down in McAllen, got to talk to Andrew Crow from Howling Rabbits. Super stoked for you guys to hear that one. Then we got some more coming up. We got the Adam Mills episode, and then it'll be the Arizona brew hopping. And then I'm going to be recording with Masa tomorrow. And then the following week, I believe I'm going to be recording in paperback. So, man, I'm super stoked. Oh, I did want to say, too, I might have mentioned it on another episode. I don't remember. If I do, I apologize for repeating myself. But the 5-star reviews on Spotify, we're at 101. Thank you, guys. I'm truly grateful. And if it's your first time listening to an episode and you have Spotify, I would truly appreciate it if you do that. The higher, the more reviews we get, or the more 5-star reviews you get, the more it puts Spotify will put in front of more eyeballs. So I'm just truly grateful for everyone that listens to the show. I, wouldn't be doing it if you didn't love it. I mean, actually, no, I'd probably still be doing it because I just love this industry so much. So I appreciate everybody that downloads each week. You could always set the notification things on to get, to let you know when a new episode is out, and it'll automatically download. Oh, and I did want to say, dang it, I should have been ready for this, but I wasn't. Because before, I wanted to mention because obviously California is like the big state for me, right? When it comes to downloads and stuff like that. But now there is a new state California is still number one, obviously, when it comes to the downloads. But when it comes to the next couple of states, for a long time, it was Virginia, and it was like Florida and stuff like that. But and they're still getting downloads there. But now Texas is number 2 in the states. States more. It's Texas, and then Michigan, Arizona, Colorado, Pennsylvania, Florida, Ohio, Virginia, Georgia. I mean, all the different states. There's only 4 states, 4 to the 50 that the episode that episodes haven't been downloaded in, and I was pretty pumped about that. I was like, man, that's freaking cool. I've been downloaded in almost every state. The only ones that haven't been are, I believe it's South Dakota, Wyoming, Vermont, and New Hampshire. So super stoked about that, man. That's cool. We're growing this thing. We're growing it together. We all love the industry, and it's a kick-ass fucking industry. It's a children's show, Mike. I'm just kidding. All right. Well, I hope you guys, I'm going to be hitting a few breweries today. I think I'm going to make some smash burger tacos a little bit, and then tomorrow recording. Let's go. Let's get this thing. All right. Well, I'm going to shut up. So, and also, before one last thing, I promise. Taproom Tales. If you guys haven't seen them yet, check out either Level Up's Instagram or my Instagram, at the Taproom Podcast. Go check them out. I mean, at least to me, I think they're funny, and they seem like they get a lot of comments and stuff like that. So if you haven't checked those out, go check them out. It's mine and Luis's version of Cheers. This past week's episode was hilarious, so definitely check that out. And Luis and I are talking about doing some t-shirts, our beer rescuer shirt. So if you'd be interested in seeing that shirt, send me a DM, let me know. And also too, like, it would be cool. Like, let us know. Like, I mean, maybe we'll do like a ask me a question kind of thing, but we'll do like, what's your favorite episode of Taproom Tales? All right. Well, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to finish my coffee and get going. All right. Well, hope everybody has a great week, has a great weekend, and go Avalanche, hopefully. But make sure that you support local, you drink local, and you find your beer. Cheers.